Hello. What's up? How you guys doing today? And so, wow. Uh, there's finally a face behind the voice, isn't it? I guess so. But long story short, I just wanted to pop on here today and talk a little bit about Nike and basically how like gold back levels work on stocks. And we talked previously about like why you should use certain power of three numbers on certain assets. So bro, it's funny because I'm showing you a visual exactly why and how every single video gets made. I'll just be sitting here. I smoke woods, man. It is what it is. I go through packs of these things. Uh, I got one of these left. I just had 7 packs of these at least. But we got some dark stouts over here too. But right now I'm smoking a dark stout. But the Russian creams have been cool all week. But now this is my problem, okay? A lot of time that we're like looking at certain assets like this, right? People ask me like, "Hey, like why?" I just want to move myself, all right? When we're looking at certain things, and so I labeled it for you. Obviously, this is our Monday, all right, 9:30 to again end of the day. Then we're going to have our Tuesday right here. Okay. Now, the first thing you notice, right, is do you see how like every single day has like a similar move, not just direction? And yo, my hair is so fucking long, bro. I can't fucking see. So a lot of my times, hold up. There we go. Much better. Gotta move my hair. So when I'm looking at price action, right? And like, right, this Monday here. See this gap? What is this gap? When you think about gaps, they're not all created equal. So you need to think about when the gap occurred. Is it a new day opening gap? Meaning any other day of the week to any other day of the week? Meaning like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, Tuesday to Wednesday, or like a Wednesday to a Thursday? This is going to be like a new day opening gap if it were over here. Okay. This is your new week opening gap. All right. So if I actually take all this off, right, and I'll show you exactly how that works. And this right here is what you want to be more interested in. Now, new week opening gap is so fun. Okay. Only because it's actually a really, really easy situation to navigate throughout the day. Okay. So for example, I'm showing you Nike right now, but when we look at some other price action, you'll see why gaps are easy. Okay. Now, new week opening gaps, like I said, these are some places in the marketplace. Let's go all the way. These are some things in the marketplace that are constant for stocks. So if you see, like, I actually know where my lighter is today. Do you see how quickly my brain does that? It's because I have ADD, bro, and it's people think I'm being funny, but like I can't stop myself from, bro. If there's a thought that pops into my head, it's gonna come out of my mouth. It's just how it is. All right. But notice how this gap is Monday. Okay. So as soon as you open from a Friday to a Monday, notice how we gapped up, by the way. That's important. Okay. So obviously we gapped up, and this is a new week opening gap. These new week opening gaps, you can actually come in and extend it. Okay. Now, you know what's funny about this? Okay. Your new week opening gap you can do some funny shit with this. Now, do you see how like now I'm focused on the Monday, okay? I'll put one line back in so you know exactly where it stops. All right. So this is Tuesday, 9:30. All right. Now I'm focused here. I didn't want the gap actually like to be not seen by red line. But do you notice how it actually gives you like a easy to use invisible regular eye gap? Oh, I typed it wrong. There we go. Do you guys hear that sound a lot? Is because I'm trying to like I have 3 ashtrays, but I miss. Not gonna lie. But invisible fair value gap, right? This is exactly how this acts. Do you see that every single time we get down here on this Monday, right? What do? And let's pop down to a lower time frame. And so here, I'll move this so you can see my shit. I have to keep fucking moving myself, right? Now, so when you're watching this, right? 9:30, okay? What does it do right away? Absolute nothing. This sucks. You trying to capture this opening move? I'm not saying there's range to it or no range to it, but this is not really a setup, okay? I don't want you to come directly in at 9:30 thinking that this shit is just going to run all fucking day. Why would you do that? We're not support resistance traders, and we're not opening bell. I was going to say a certain word, but we are not opening bell traders, okay? You're not going to fall for that. We want the lion's share. And I don't need you out here. If you're not looking for scalps, don't touch this shit. You need to be in the marketplace concerned not just about structure, but about what instead? Time. Now, why would we say that exactly, right? I'll say it like this. Monday is a day to scalp. You're not looking for an incredible run right off the rip, okay? So when you get down here, notice what happens, right? And notice the time. Right inside a new week opening gap, it acts as a invisible fair value gap. If you would like to scalp this, you are more than welcome. And this is exactly at 10 o'clock, 10:05, and blast off. This is very simple. And it's all about where you get in. So it's not just the fact that the gap is there, but you're understanding the function of it. So in your mind, you probably now I'm not going to say it's wrong to look for sells here because obviously it's a sell day. I was just going to get to that. But what I'm saying is, if you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of time in the morning, maybe you have to get to your job by 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, whatever, and you don't have a lot of time in the morning, you understand the narrative here, of course. This is, yes, a new week opening gap looking like a invisible bullish for a value gap. And remember what I said just for a moment earlier. It gaps upward. Do you see that? This could easily gap down like we do here. But this gaps upward, my guy. I need you to understand that. And so, bro, I'm telling you, trying to work with my hands a lot. Like it's not like necessarily cold, which is why I got like the blanket on. It's just because I like smoking with the blanket on. It's fun. So My thing is, right? I want you to be more understanding of your opportunities and how time plays the biggest role. 10 o'clock in the morning is when the first move of the day is really showing you exactly what it wants to do. So when this starts to support, right, and when we get down to even lower time frame, you'll see other things that you can use down here, okay? But people say, well, I don't have anything to aim at. There's no like real target. Like liquidity is this far if I want to aim bullish. But that's why I say when you're on a Monday, you're looking for scalps. Doesn't have to be 5, 6. It could be 2, 3 great scalps for the day. Okay. Now, my thing, I need you to understand this. Now, a lot of times, again, invisible fair value gap here, you go bullish. But what I want you to really focus on, once you're in this area up here, now this is actually really simple because anybody with 2 eyes can see how this breaks down. And I want you to be like, you know, if you ever watched the Wild Thornberries, and you know how like um Eliza would like venture out a little bit, but every single time she will come back and be like, yo, I've learned something. And like that show is so crazy because she used to travel with her family and go through all these jungles and shit. And my thing is when you're in the marketplace, it's gonna feel like a jungle sometimes. And I'm not saying that to be funny, but I'm saying like I need you to be more understanding of your environment. And if you're not understanding the narrative, then you don't take that trade. You don't go off in the wilderness by yourself and start hacking at shit. Don't start pressing buttons because you're bored. Don't venture out into danger unless you have a plan. Unless you get to Nigel Thornberry status and you understand exactly what is going on here, I need you to be relaxed and risk manage. Now, people say, yo, price just turns on a dime. Sometimes it's just so scary. I get it. But again, like I said, this is offering you more than one trade. It's not that you come in every day saying, yo, is it up or is it down? Obviously. But like, you need to come in and say, you know what? What is my actual intention? Am I going to actually go for a scalp? Is it day's range? What day is it? You're already looking for scalps on Monday because you're offered more than one side. It's typically like an accumulation profile. It's not going to be like an M or a D cycle. And so when you're seeing stuff like this, and we know that new week opening gaps can provide, again, invisible fair value gap, but also gaps do what in general? Fill. Gaps fill. So even if like down here, you caught it again, bullish, right? You say, yo, perfect. Didn't even close a body down there. And you go right back. But notice how every single time you go down, up, it's doing what? Lower low. My bad. Lower high. Making another lower high. High, lower high, lower high. I tell you, man, trading is not difficult. You gotta come in and understand the narrative. I say this every single video now. Be a reliable narrator. Because if not, you're going to get trumped when you see every single candle just trend for a little bit in one direction and you're thinking, oh, this thing's going to run all day. Why? I needed you to see my face on some of these, bro, because you got to see exactly how I feel about this. Trading is not difficult. You need to understand and have access to how not just making a plan works, but when the chart gives you certain clues, these things are easy to run as a what? I told you I trade like I'm writing a paper. I need a main idea or a thesis. So if the main idea for me is I understand that early in the morning I don't want to trade at 9:30 because I know the first move is typically a good one is going to come at 10. Is it a surprise that I get 2 wicks down here? We go bullish right from here? No, because we understand the first move here. Now when I go upward, right? Now watch, I can pull it down slowly down the time frames. 4-minute chart, right? Doesn't seem like we have much to aim at. 3-minute chart, let's check it out. Aha! I'm excited. Why is that? We take the rectangle tool, and we are going to color this way differently because I don't like the colors on the screen right now. What are we going to do? Let's do blue. All right. Now, what is that? Clear, perfect 3-minute fair value gap. Yikes. So if you took this buy here, where do you know to start taking profit? Up in this area, right? And look, you notice how you have this perfect fair value gap actually after your end wall. Look at that. It's Gap City down here on the 3-minute. Yes. Now, you don't have to be like, you know, Elijah Thornberry just wandering off randomly and getting into danger. You don't have to do that. Now listen, you see all this price action here? It fills the gap, doesn't it? First time. Now when you go up again, fair value gap. And again, you either should already be out of your buys. Your bias is now to the sell side. And you understand straight off the main idea, okay? This gap needs to fill eventually. So whether it's today or the next day, you're looking to get towards that. New week opening gap, if you see a lot of price action that goes directly bullish from here and you can hold it, if there's no gap here, I guarantee you probably would have held that, right? Me too. But my thing is, this is like a brick wall, dude. It's going to stop. So if you start to see reaction from here, you're like, yo, hold on. Now you start thinking backward. Sell side liquidity now. Because you know every single time it goes up, that's fake now. It's not going to continue. Everybody here, imagine you need to role play with retail. So the retail traders are buying all in this area, confused as shit. They start going down here. So they either get smacked out of their buys and they start trying to sell shit now because they're desperate. Okay, maybe you know what? Maybe I was wrong. It goes down for a little bit, it bounces. And in their mind, it's going to fill the gap, right? Retail knows about gap fills. It doesn't come till later because it needs to engineer algorithmically sell side liquidity, sell side liquidity, sell side liquidity. All this is coming into your imbalance to fill that, come down, make another imbalance, fill that. Two objectives in once. Once you come into that again, order block, fair value gap, combo, go right down. And you know what's funny? Watch this. Again, I told you before, if you want to use gold back levels, now I need you to really peep my vibe here. All right. Now, do you see how ridiculous this is? Now we're on a 3, right? I had to move myself. So do you see how we're on a 3 power 3? Okay. All right. Now I don't care. You know you're on a 3. We don't have to look at it. Now watch. Notice how like we've been coming down through this entire partition this entire time. So we are already sell side, right? So when you're seeing how like the Monday comes down, all this is nothing but a big ass breaker. You don't have to like use a breaker if you don't want to. But what I'm saying is you need to come in and say, you know what? I understand the lower time frame perspective here, and I can actually run my trade. Do you feel what I'm saying? So it's stuff like this that I want to just make sure you can tap into. Next part we'll talk about the Tuesday, which is nothing but your manipulation. Okay, so Hopefully this was a fun time and a great intro. Until the next time that we speak in a few minutes, I will see you later.